I'm Angela.
And I'm Jessie, and this is Art Adventures of the Palm Beaches.
We have the ultimate guide to creative happenings and culture across the Palm Beaches.
We're going to be traveling from Jupiter to Boca and everywhere in between.
And with these cultural institutions bringing over $633 million of economic impact, it's easy to see why the Palm Beaches is truly Florida's cultural capital.
I'm ready to get this art adventure started. Are you?
Of course I am.
Let's go.
This program is brought to you by the Cultural Council for Palm Beach County. Visit palmbeachculture.com. And Discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information.
In this episode of Art Adventures, we explore the transformation of industrial warehouse areas across the Palm Beaches into today's vibrant art and cultural hubs.
Warehouses were first constructed in the late 18th and early 19th centuries to make way for the Industrial Revolution. The introduction of machines helped guide the way to quicker manufacturing and helped create a space to quickly produce goods that once had to be made by hand. Designed for practicality, warehouses were often located near railroads or waterways. However, as the Industrial Revolution lulled, the warehouses became abandoned and desolate. Enter the 21st century, and these lifeless structures have evolved, with help fueled by arts and culture.
Today's warehouse spaces are creating new practicality, infusing an eclectic mix of arts exhibitions, world-class food, and creativity into each space. Some spaces are being redesigned with old foundations intact, and some are being built brand new while encompassing the spirit of their predecessors. The unique warehouses we are checking out across the Palm Beaches in this episode all have one thing in common: the arts.
So people love the idea of public art, and I would say just be involved, get involved, communicate with your city leaders, speak to even the Chamber of Commerce, which is very interesting because they're very business and economic oriented, and sometimes they don't see the vision of culture and art adding to the economics of a community. But if you look at the numbers and you see what it brings to the community, it has a tremendous impact. So I would encourage people to really look into what it does economically for a community.
The first stop on our journey is within the West Palm Beach Warehouse District, the fabulous food hall Grandview Public Market. It offers co-working spaces, world-class food, special events, and even houses a surf shop and surf museum. Grandview Public Market happens to be adjacent to the West Palm Beach Canal. Completed in 1917, the canal first provided access to the farming communities and made it the central hub for the fruits and vegetables shipped throughout the United States. We are checking out a few fun highlights that make Grandview Public Market a cultural destination for the whole family.
So Kristen, I want to start out by talking to you about really the revitalization of areas such as this here in West Palm Beach. And with Grandview, we've really repurposed this warehouse district into a culinary haven. Can you speak about why you chose to take that on and really turn this warehouse district into so much more?
I think what excited us when we first saw these buildings is that nothing like this existed in Palm Beach or in West Palm Beach. It was completely new and different, and it offered an opportunity to be completely creative without having to maintain yourselves within the constraints of a city. We had so much space we didn't even know what to do with it. So all of a sudden we had all this square footage where you said, you know what, let's just let people use it however they want to. It doesn't matter what we want, it matters what they want, whether they want to come in and work in the mornings, if they want to have a bachelorette party, if they want to meet up with their friends that they haven't seen because they've been away at college. All of a sudden the space transformed into something that belonged to them and people use it as they need it.
What are the different variations of food that people can experience, and also how do you select the people that come in here?
So when we first dreamed up this idea, we had a few vendors that we knew we really wanted to approach, and then we had a few people we had never heard of before, and then we had a few open spaces. So in some cases we were tasting food out of the back of trucks and just saying, you know what, this is phenomenal, and it's their first brick and mortar location. And in other instances, people came to us and said, you know, we have a concept that we'd really love to open in the space, you know, we have a couple other locations, but we're small, we're family owned, and we'd like to be a part of it. And, you know, once you kind of taste the food and you see the proof is in the pudding, you go for it and you give people a chance. So one of the things that we do that's very unique is a ton of programming, whether it's yoga, live music, bingo, trivia night, children's music. There's just so many different things that are happening here so that on any given day, you're not just coming to have a meal, but you're going to have some sort of experience while you're here.
We're here at Elizabeth Ave Station, part of the warehouse district adjacent to Grandview Public Market.
What I'm interested in is getting a little caffeine fix, maybe do a little shopping.
I think that sounds good. Let's go.
So we are here at Elizabeth Ave in the West Palm Beach warehouse districts, and I am with Brittany, who is the owner of Bohemian Groove. So if somebody hasn't been to your lovely Airstream, what can they find inside of your shop?
Yeah, so I curate everything. A lot of the brands are from New York, where I'm from, California, Australia, Bali. Everyone that comes into the Airstream boutique, not only are they getting an experience because you're walking into a completely renovated Airstream, and everyone that comes into the Airstream is kind of not only amazed that they're walking into such a cool renovated Airstream, but basically all the merchandise that you find in there, you can't find anywhere else.
Right.
So that's basically what kind of sets me apart from just shopping at a normal local boutique or online or anything like that. The whole idea that you can travel and the wanderlust lifestyle, carefree, that's kind of the whole vibe I'm going for. Super bohemian, but also a little bit edgy. You can mix and match a lot of pieces.
So conveniently connected to Grandview Market is the space we're in now, Gypsy Life Surf Shop. It's very eclectic. We have a VW bus. We have lots of different things going on. Can you tell me a little bit more about this space specifically?
Of course. So we're very lifestyle driven. We're all about our community. The locals are awesome. We love our tourists. We do a lot of fun events, ukulele lessons. We have a braid bar. You can get your hair done. We do a jam session at the end of the month, and then we do a coffee corner. So just bringing everyone together to enjoy the space and all the activities here.
So if I'm not a surfer, are there other things I can find in here that will get me excited about going to the beach and all the fun things that are here in the Palm Beaches?
That's a great question. Of course, we have a lot of cute clothes, bathing suits. Everyone loves that. We have jewelry for the guys. We have the skateboards. So there's a little something for everyone here.
I think we should really commit here. Let's just do like a solid jam session. Okay,
Yeah.
ready? And thanks to Gypsy Life Surf Shop, we had a lot of fun here.
We hope you guys enjoyed West Palm Beach at Grandview Market. Art Adventures of the Palm Beaches is on its way to its next stop.
Let's go!
This program is brought to you by the Cultural Council for Palm Beach County. Visit palmbeachculture.com and discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information. As the demand for freelancing and creative entrepreneurship increases, so does the need for an alternative environment.
Which brings us to Boca Raton and the Flamingo House, a creative co-working space. Tucked away in Boca's warehouse district, you can find busy creative entrepreneurs, artists, and digital nomads flocking together, as birds of a feather often do, at the aptly named creative co-working space, the Flamingo House. Here you can find an array of creatives from painters to freelancers to a craft brewery, all coming together in this one-of-a-kind incubator space.
Being involved in something that kind of brings a cool vibe to Boca and an art vibe to Boca was very important to me. And I fell upon this warehouse district that had the potential of having public art, and to me, what it can do for Boca Raton is bring us the cool factor. I would say this is special because it's really the first. And it is an emerging arts district and a warehouse district that really we haven't seen in Boca Raton. So I think it's the beginning of a new sort of opportunity, and gives people a sense of, it's a leader in the community, really. So I think that's what's very special about this warehouse district.
We're here with Ellie Vale, Rock Urban, the warehouse district in Boca Raton, and we're really excited to see some fantastic jewelry, one of a kind. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. Thanks for popping in.
Yes, I really want to start where the most important thing here is the jewelry, which I'm obsessed with. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with the press that you have gotten on your jewelry line. I mean, Harper's Bazaar, Oprah Magazine, Cosmopolitan, you have celebrities wearing your jewelry. I think it's really cool with your jewelry. It's hypoallergenic, water resistant, and it has really nice, bold styles. What made you decide to go with this kind of look?
I mean, I think it mixes like classic pieces with on-trend pieces. And for me personally, I have days where I'm in jeans and a tee and super classic.
Yeah.
And then I also have days where I'm like super, like every single trend is on my body.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of combine that so I can offer, if somebody's wanting something that's on trend right now, they can have that. But if, at the end of the day, if they wanted just something simple, they were also able to choose that as well.
And being that you are located here in Boca Raton, what made you decide to have a shop and a workspace here in the warehouse district?
Well, finding office space here is hard. I really like the concept of being able to come into my own space and leave. I usually work in my pajamas or sweatpants.
Perfectly fine.
So going into an office environment where you're sharing a ton of space, going into an elevator, I got my dogs, I got my sweatpants on, I got my flip-flops, I'm looking like a mess. This is perfect. And you know, I feel like we have our own kind of privacy, and I'm also around a bunch of other creative people. So it makes sense to be in like a nice community of people doing the same thing.
We are here at the Flamingo House with artist Ben. I'm here at his studio, and we're going to learn a little bit about what he does.
So right now I'm working on what I just call heavily textured art. I've been working a lot with texture obviously lately, and I just had an idea of doing something for some odd reason to kind of resemble like Nintendo games. Something simple, basic.
Nostalgic.
Because minimalism too is kind of a thing now where very calming and basic, I guess, I don't know. So that's what I'm doing here.
So how did you end up here in Boca at the Flamingo House to have your studio?
So I was doing live painting at a local farmer's market, and Amber, who runs the Flamingo House here, she started explaining the vision about creating this kind of arts district in this spot and just bringing that artistic warehouse feel to Boca.
We wanted the Flamingo House to be in a warehouse industrial chic area. We found Rock Urban, jumped in our car, came here and was like, this is where we want to be, this is the vision. We want to have art walks and have community events, and we want to have other creatives gravitate to this industrial warehouse district. And we want murals, we want to just have this very creative community. The Flamingo House is a co-working space where we invite creative entrepreneurs to work under one roof. With that comes just a big sense of collaboration and helping each other's businesses thrive. So what's interesting is that we're kind of a hidden gem off the beaten path. And here we have from a jeweler to a creative furniture place with mid-century furniture, an artist and co-working space and brewery next door. It really is at Rock Urban and the Flamingo House a really cool creative community that's going on here. And it's something that's different. It's in Boca Raton and it's edgy in the Pink City. People don't get that this is happening in Boca Raton.
I would really love to know more about how Bay 38 really got started and how you established a vintage home decor here in Boca Raton.
Well, I've always been a lover of vintage shopping since I was a teenager. And when I moved here, I became very frustrated with things that were being thrown out. People here are a little more transient, and sometimes they would throw away good furniture because maybe a new tenant was moving into an apartment. So I started picking things up and refurbishing them, got more into upholstery and lacquer, and then eventually had to get more space, so I started a warehouse, and the number on top was Bay 38. For the most part, everything in here is vintage that has been refurbished in some way. My slogan is rejuvenating forlorn furniture with love. So I do upholstery, lacquer, milk painting. Sometimes I just have to clean up a beautiful mid-century teak piece. I just have to put some oil on it and freshen it up to give it a new life. This area specifically is so special because you're surrounded by other artists. So rather than being surrounded by carpenters or auto guys or something of that nature, we have artists here. So it's a feeling of community. It brings other interested clients here as well.
Next, we're taking a trip to the heart of the Palm Beaches, to the Boynton Beach Arts District, where an alternative contemporary art scene has been creating a buzz along rows of industrial warehouses. Originally founded as a neighborhood arts district by Richard Beaulieu in the 1980s, today, artist and activist Rolando Chang Barrero has spearheaded efforts in the community to support artists through events and exhibitions, making it a vibrant place for artists and art lovers to connect.
This program is brought to you by the Cultural Council for Palm Beach County. Visit palmbeachculture.com. And discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information.
We're in the heart of the Palm Beaches at the Boynton Beach Arts District. We're gonna go visit with Jonathan of Palm Beach Tie-Dye. Let's go.
We're here at a warehouse industrial district where artists have their studios and they create and fabricate their artwork. You'll find jewelry, you'll find glass art, you'll find fabric, textile art, printmaking, sculptures, paintings, even art appraisals. So there's all sorts of artists that are in this arts district.
We are here at the Boynton Beach Arts District with Jonathan of Palm Beach Tie-Dye, and we have stopped in to find out what makes this so unique. We need to know what is so special about your tie-dye, because it's not like any other tie-dye that's usually produced.
Well, thank you. That's really sweet. It's produced in the same manner, but what I've tried to do is put an upscale Palm Beach twist on what people's conventional impression is of tie-dye and hippies and Grateful Dead parking lots. I want to make fashion that people feel comfortable wearing, that's unique. You know that you're not going to run into somebody in the restaurant that's wearing the exact same shirt that you are.
That's a great point.
Because everything that I make is one of a kind. This is a tie-dye that we had made. It's similar to one that you can see on the wall behind us, but it's a dream catcher, and when it's all open, it looks pretty
Wow. Neat. Now, how many times does it take you to practice to get a final product like that? I guess a lot.
Yeah, it took me a long time to be able to sort of fine-tune my skills to get the results that I wanted.
Wow, so this is your first time seeing this?
Yeah. And
Awesome.
if we pull it tight, you can kind of see
It's beautiful.
the pattern that we have in there. And we got one in each corner as well, like little lotus blooms.
I think art and culture is very important to the Palm Beaches. It's cultural tourism, it attracts people, it helps with economic development, it creates jobs. We work very closely with a lot of the other entities and organizations within the county, so that in the Palm Beaches, so that we really tie in what we're doing here with what's happening countywide.
This program is brought to you by the Cultural Council for Palm Beach County. Visit palmbeachculture.com. And Discover the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv for more information.
We're literally standing here in an artist alley. We're here at the Arts Warehouse in Delray Beach.
Located in the Pineapple Grove Arts District, the Arts Warehouse is an incubator offering world-class artist residencies, education, talks, and community-based arts projects. The Arts Warehouse provides developmental programming and assistance to visual artists locally, nationally, and internationally, making the space an all-in-one cultural destination for both locals and tourists alike.
We're here with Grace Kadanik at the Arts Warehouse in Delray Beach.
We're excited to see all the amazing artists, exhibitions, and everything that this warehouse has to offer.
So Grace, what is it that you do in this beautiful space?
So I am the Arts Warehouse Coordinator, which means I coordinate a lot of different things here. The exhibitions, I do a lot of the curating for those, the programs we offer, and also just being a point person for the artists and residents that we have in the studios.
There's a cool history to the Arts Warehouse. It wasn't always destined to be this. What was the original plan and how did it transform into what it is now?
Yeah, so it was a warehouse, and the Community Redevelopment Agency in Delray Beach decided to purchase the space because it had been sitting empty in 2013 with the idea of an arts incubator, art space, community space in mind. And it came to fruition and we opened in 2017. So on the first floor as you come in, it's the main gallery space here. We have everything from installations, 2D work. We also have a large warehouse room in the back. We have indoor markets, workshops. We also have artist studios on the first floor and then also on the second floor. Everything from filmmakers, we have a fashion designer, making textiles, mixed media artists, photographers, painters.
We are with Cheryl Mader, who is an internationally renowned artist. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and where we are right now?
Absolutely. I'm a fine art photographer and video installation artist, and my work is about the innate connection in the self, to each other, and to all life forms on this planet. And this is my series, which is called Submerge. It's about the effects of climate change. And my work, the core of my work, is about the environment. My statement for Submerge, on the Earth's surface, there's about 70% of water. And in our bodies, there's about 70% of liquids in our bodies. And so we are very connected with water. And so the Submerge series is about that. And also it's about the philosophical, that we're always making, I feel in transformation, we're always making the leap into the depths of the waters of our soul. My work has an otherworldliness about it, and so it connects to me. I hopefully connect my work with other dimensions. So it's not only about this planet, it's about the infinite.
I'm a lover of color. I love studying how each color has something to say. I am Renee Phillips. I'm a color alchemist.
I'm here with Renee Phillips at the Arts Warehouse, and I want to know, first of all, you consider yourself a process-based artist. Can you explain to everyone what that means?
Sure. The process of my creation is very important to me because I'm doing things with paint that school may not have taught me necessarily. The process I work with is with enamel, latex, spray paint, and I'm manipulating the paint with the elements of wind, water, heat, gravity.
And is that how you create the sculpture look to your paintings, is using the elements of the world, essentially?
Yeah, I pour paint with latex and enamel paint, which by nature is very thick. I mix it with a medium that also thickens it. And like I said, every color does something different. So I need to study each color's dry time to see at what point it creates like a little bit of a film so I can manipulate it with those elements.
Wow, that's meticulous. What are you inspired by when you create your artwork?
I'm inspired by the natural world. I'm really inspired by the surface of Earth and all of its changing personalities, the tide rolling in and out and just the water flowing over each other, rocks and all the different layers of rocks. I look a lot at NASA satellite images and drone photography just to see how man and Earth are combining and changing the surface of Earth.
Now tell me about the series you're currently working on.
I'm working on a series called the Liminal Series, and it's about freezing moments in time between the transition. So I was recently pregnant and I found myself in a time where I was in an in-between phase. I was neither here nor there. So I went into the art studio and tried freezing moments of time in the paint and the moving of the paint. So I'm really trying to delve into how I can freeze moments in time with paint.
Wow, I love that. I think a lot of people can relate to that and kind of wanting to be in that moment frozen. That's so interesting. I know that you also have a documentary coming out. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, my friend Amber Tolfson created a 11-minute documentary on my process. She came to my studio in Chelsea in Manhattan, and we were supposed to just be creating a short little video on my process, and she ended up creating a longer video that really takes a deeper dive into what my inspiration is and how I create my art. I've been creating my art, for the past 7 years, basically alone in the studio, doing my process, making my notes, writing in my color journal, and it took me 3 years of experimentation and just kind of becoming a scientist and an alchemist in the studio to get a process down that I was ready to share. And so the pieces you see behind me are works in process, but they're visions I had for years of things that I could do with paint that I didn't necessarily learn.